Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the cryptic language of corporate filings. Today we're diving into FONAR Corporation's latest report, and let's just say things are getting interesting, or maybe just really routine, depending on how you look at it. We're looking at a Form 8K, which is like a really important bulletin from a company about big news. This one drops on September 12, 2025, and it tells us about the company's results of operations and financial condition for their fiscal year that ended June 30, 2025. Now, usually these 8Ks come with all sorts of juicy deets, but this one is pretty straightforward, and that's kind of the story here. They're talking about their common stock, which trades under the symbol FONAR on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. This is the bread and butter of any public company and how investors track its performance. The core of this filing is an announcement about their fiscal 2025 results. So what happened with FONAR's money and business when the year wrapped up on June 30th, 2025? Well, they put out a press release on September 12th, 2025 to share those details. And that press release is attached as an exhibit to this report. Think of exhibits as the backup evidence for what the company is saying. Now, usually these reports are packed with numbers and tables that show us exactly how the company did. We dig into revenue growth, profit margins, debt levels, all that good stuff. But in this particular filing, the actual financial details are in that press release and not directly laid out here in the 8K itself. The report is signed off by Timothy R. Damadian, who is the president and CEO. This is the guy in charge confirming that the information being shared is accurate. It's like him saying, yep, this is what happened. Now, looking at the overall picture from this filing, FONAR is reporting its fiscal year-end results. What's really noticeable here is the lack of detailed financial tables within the 8K itself. While they state that the results of operations and financial condition for fiscal 2025 were reported in a press release dated September 12, 2025, this specific document acts more as a notification that this information has been disseminated. If we were to imagine we were looking at that press release, we'd be keen to see how FONAR performed compared to the previous year. Are they selling more of their products or services? Is their profit growing, shrinking, or staying the same? Are they taking on more debt or paying it down? These are the questions that get to the heart of a company's health. For companies in the medical technology space, like FONAR, which is known for its MRI scanners, the story is often about innovation, market demand for new diagnostic tools, and competition. We want to see if their technological advancements are translating into stronger sales and a healthier bottom line. Are they gaining market share? Are their sales outpacing the industry average? Without the actual numbers from the press release directly in this 8K, it's hard to give a Warren Buffett-style deep dive here. However, the very fact that they're relying on a standard press release to communicate these results is what we call business as usual for many publicly traded companies. They use these press releases often and then file them with the SEC so everyone can see them. What we can infer is that FONAR's management believes the information in the press release is sufficient to inform investors about their fiscal performance. The key for investors now is to go find that September 12th press release and really pick apart those numbers. In essence, this filing acts as a pointer. It tells you where to look for the important stuff. The strategy for FONAR, as suggested by this filing, seems to be to communicate major financial updates through widely distributed press releases. This approach, while common, means that the true meat of their financial story for fiscal 2025 isn't immediately digestible within this specific document. So to wrap up our look at this FONAR 8K, it's a filing that confirms the release of fiscal year-end financial results. While it lacks the direct financial tables we often dissect, it points us to the press release where those important figures reside. The company's direction, its strengths and weaknesses, and any significant risks or opportunities will all be laid out in that accompanying document. Now, looking at these results more broadly, it's hard to say much without the actual numbers. However, the fact that they're a company focused on medical imaging suggests a market potentially driven by healthcare spending and technological innovation. Their direction will depend heavily on how well they can adapt to new MRI technologies and meet the demands of hospitals and healthcare providers. A key risk for companies like FONAR can be rapid technological obsolescence or strong competition from larger players. Conversely, a breakthrough feature or a growing demand for their specific MRI solutions could be a significant opportunity. Alright, that's our breakdown of this FONAR 8K filing, pointing us towards their fiscal year end results. What's your take on this type of filing where the key details are in an attached press release? Do you prefer all the numbers right there, or do you find it easy to track down the press release? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this quick decode was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out and tells us to keep these coming. And if you want more straightforward breakdowns of corporate filings, make sure to subscribe. Don't forget to check out our Discord community linked in the description below, where we discuss these things further. Thanks for watching. See you next time.